Recently, Apple launched a very familiar looking iPad mini. Before that, a very familiar looking Apple Watch. And a very familiar looking iPhone. Before that, well, you get the point. Lots of very familiar looking new products. Also recently, Tesla launched an autonomous taxi with no steering wheel, along with a robovan, while also showing off the latest version of their humanoid robot. And also, SpaceX recently used giant mechanical arms to catch a giant rocket returning to the Earth. Pretty crazy stuff. Like a lot of people recently, I've been reflecting on the state of technology development right now, and I've been asking myself the question, has Tesla and SpaceX become the nexus of exciting tech development? And if so, what does that mean for Apple? I want to dissect that a little bit today. So this isn't a video about why Apple's bad or why I don't like Apple or why Apple's stagnating or anything like that. It's not that kind of a video. I'm just noticing that certain tech launches are really getting people fired up, while others are leaving some people at least a little fed up, as evidenced by the video that I uploaded right before this. Before we get into it, there's just a little time left to pre-order the AI&I educational bundle, $450 worth of course content for just 99 bucks to help you optimize your career and plan for the future as AI disrupts the job market and as it creates new opportunities. You can get it linked up down below while it's still 78% off. I want to kick this conversation off by just saying that Apple and other legacy tech companies fire me up in different ways than frontier tech companies like maybe Tesla and SpaceX. I use Apple products to create things. They're very literally the tools of my trade. So of course I'm excited when new tools become available that can help me get my work done. And as I'm thinking about it, I feel like phones and laptops, tablets, watches, smart speakers, earbuds, these are all tools for the now. These are things that impact my personal sphere. Now, I don't even own a Tesla. I had an electric SUV that I actually got rid of because the battery almost blew up my house. That's a story for another time. But if I was going to get another electric, it would definitely be a Tesla. But Tesla and SpaceX launches, these are clearly tools for the future, and they impact not just the personal sphere, but more of the civilizational scale. And while I do still get excited, maybe mildly to quite excited, when new Apple tools become available for my arsenal, I've realized that the realms that Tesla and SpaceX are playing in don't just excite me, they actually inspire me. I mean, just to be real, they inspire me in ways that a new tablet or a phone or earbuds can't. Even though I do love the new AirPods, the new Apple Watch is very useful to me, and the Pro iPhone actually helps me get my work done. I rely on these tools. Getting a new Apple product these days feels more like getting a new hammer in a way. It's a new tool, slightly enhanced, but it kind of lets me do the same thing I was already doing, necessary, but not nail biting. You contrast that with images of these tiny humans next to giant rocket ships and rigs, which are designed to launch people into space, and your mind just kind of starts swimming. How did humans build these things? What does it mean for the future? Am I aiming too small with my goals and dreams? Now, in no way am I ruling out Apple coming out with cool, game-changing products in the future that don't just sort of iterate, but actually really innovate and shake up markets and create new markets. There's certainly been rumors of Apple dreaming big. Mark Gurman keeps saying that Apple's working on some sort of a robot for the home, which from his description sounds kind of like an iPad mounted on an arm that sits on your counter and kind of moves to face you as you move as well. And maybe that would be really interesting and exciting and useful, or maybe that will lead to other things that are even more exciting and interesting and useful. I do know that Tesla has already developed a humanoid robot called Optimus, which is intended to be sort of like a person's personal C-3PO helper, and it's not just a rumor or a dream, but I mean, it's nearly here. Here's an interesting question. I was wondering this myself. If Apple designed a humanoid-like robot, could they do a more Apple-like design than what Tesla has put out with Optimus? It's pretty Apple-like. I mean, of course, maybe they could. This looks pretty good already. Tesla is actually very good at design, which is something that Apple's always been known for. It's been rumored forever that Apple had a car project in the works, and it sounds like it's canceled now. People certainly joke about it. I've seen speculation that maybe they saw what Tesla was up to with the robo-taxi and just decided to call it quits. But again, Tesla's there already. They're changing life as we know it, and I'm not even getting into whether that's good or bad. I'm just saying they're doing it right now. There's a difference, I think, between managing life as we know it, which I think a lot of Apple releases feel like they're managing something that at one point was really cool and new and exciting, and changing life as we know it. Now, Apple has been getting into artificial intelligence, Apple Intelligence. So far, people don't seem to be super impressed, just to be honest. Apple, which in the past has had a reputation for being cutting edge, partnered with ChatGPT to develop that sort of LLM and bring that to customers instead of doing that in-house, which is not to say that they haven't developed their own models, which are maybe more specialized. They have. And just for contrast, Elon recently built an AI data center with 100,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs in 19 days. 19 days, that's crazy. The CEO of NVIDIA was blown away by that. He said it usually takes 4 years to stand something like that up. And it's hard to imagine Apple having that sort of agility these days. Obviously, Tesla's self-driving requires super advanced AI. Optimus requires super advanced AI. And it's AI that's on a different level than proofreading and rewording emails, or generating kind of cutesy images, or summarizing notifications, etc. And not that that stuff isn't useful, because it is. Now, one area that Apple has tried to be on the frontier is with spatial computing. With the Vision Pro, that's clearly an area that Tesla and SpaceX aren't messing around in. Now, you could actually mention Neuralink here with its brain-computer interfaces, which could be kind of relevant here. But so far, the market hasn't jumped all over the Vision Pro in terms of sales. But as the price comes down, it's possible that it might become more popular. I'm not going to poo-poo it here because a review unit has never floated my way, and I'd still love to try it. I've been requesting and requesting, just no luck so far. It's interesting though, because AR and VR stuff is more about perception of the digital. It's more mind-focused, internal-facing, imaginative. Whereas rockets cruising through space and robots cruising through the streets, these are things that are happening in the quote-unquote real world, in the external reality rather than the internal reality. And I think that's part of what people are finding so inspiring here. Imagination has become commoditized. Anybody can imagine anything and bring it to life with something like Midjourney or Runway, for instance, and then soon everyone's gonna be able to experience that in their internal spatial realm. Just pop on the Vision Pro and that imaginative realm comes to life in your mind. On the other hand, not just anyone can build a giant reusable rocket in the real world that's designed to go to Mars, that can drop off a fleet of robots, that can start terraforming and building. It's the stuff of science fiction becoming fact. It also has to do with imagination. Somebody imagined it, but they're turning it into actual reality. It's not just digitized. So again, the purpose of this video is certainly not to downplay Apple. It's just something I've been thinking about, and I wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on this kind of topic in general. Where is tech headed? What is feeling exciting to you and why? When I saw Mechazilla catching the giant rocket falling to Earth the other day, it awakened a feeling that I hadn't felt in a while. It's like when Steve Jobs would take the stage back in the day and people would hang on his every word, waiting for that one more thing because he would blow us away. You know, the first time he announced, here's this new product, and it ended up being the iPhone that combined these 3 different things into one product, that was paradigm shifting. And, you know, the iPhone hasn't shifted any paradigms in a while. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of miss that from Apple. Steve saw the future, and then he made it real. And my question is, has that torch been passed? Of course, I wrote the outline for this video on my iPad Pro while I was wearing my AirPods. I had my Apple Watch on, which unlocked my Mac where I was doing research, and I had a timer going for lunch. You know, I rely on these products. They're my go-to tool set when I'm creating and deploying. And I love my Apple setup right now. I've never felt more productive ever in my whole life than with the products that I've got going on right now. Please share your thoughts. It's kind of a different video. Do check out the AI and I bundle. It's only $99 for just a couple more days. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.